So I'm back super quick after the first one for anyone who's interested or amused. I felt like I had more to say, and I'm still awake. So I mean, two birds, one stone. Uh, but in any event, I just want to begin uh, by explaining how I got to this point and some of the reasons um, there are specific goals associated with this moment, this dispensation in time. So, um, I don't know. I'd say maybe 2 years ago. Maybe that's fair. Maybe three. Um, my life hit rock bottom. Let's say 2 years. 2 years. My life hit rock bottom. Um, any circumstance that you can throw out, whether it's about relationships or health or family or employment or just anything that you can think about. I mean, it was just crumbling to the ground. And there came to a point where I realized that I didn't have anything. I didn't have anything solid uh, to depend on. Anyone that was solid to depend on, which which only worsened the situation because I was already in a rough spot, and to come to find out that your pillars are not really your pillars, it just makes things worse. But during that time, I began to meet some, or at least one, of the amazing friends that I mentioned. Um, and the first friend that I met uh, is incredible. Uh, Talking about a person with a kind heart, talking about a person who is um, educated, talking about a person who has a moral compass, talking about a person who is experienced, talking about a person who is encouraging, just talking about a person with substance. That's this guy, Jonathan. He's my guy. Uh, we'll talk more about him later, but uh, he helped me during a time when, again, I didn't have much hope. Um, and with his help, the help of God and helping myself, I was able to climb out of the hole that I was in, and become a part of a small piece of what I'm supposed to be, and what I'm supposed to become. He helped me to get my confidence back, and to get my hope back, and to get my focus back. Um, so we fast forward a couple years later, present day, and the year again wasn't beginning very well, but this year was different. It was different because my responses were different. Um, my responses were different because I realized that I can't change what happens. Life is going to continue to move, and the world is going to continue to spin. But um, I can determine many of the situations simply by my response. Okay, I don't have to let life happen to me. Um, Also, I just want to put out there that most of the time I think for a long time before I speak. Sometimes I even write it down. So this moment here is actually a freestyle, and obviously at 3 something in the morning, I'm not really rehearsing. So freestyle conversation be a hashtag. Um, but I was sitting at my place of employment one day, and I was sitting at home thinking about the same thing. But I realized that many of the people around me had that same substance like Jonathan. I realized that somehow, some way, I got to settle into a circle of people who are again, just outstanding. These people are phenomenal. There's names that I didn't mention. There's Dina. There's Raven. I have the greatest cast ever. Uh, and I feel like we're all superheroes in some element, with some particular skill set. Um, we'll get into that later as well. Um, but they have encouraged me, and I've learned from them. I've learned that it is best to be the person who knows the least in a room, because you have the opportunity to learn, and of course we know that learning equals growth. Um, and I'm trying to be alive. I'm trying to continue to grow. So I'm surrounded by people who are accomplished, people who are wise, people who are cultured, learned. It's amazing. It's amazing. It's a good feeling. Um, it's a good feeling because I went from feeling down to embracing and leaning upon these people, and feeling great enough to smile like a shining star, uh, close to 4 a.m. in the morning, just because they give me so much positive energy. They are much more valuable to me than I think they know. But hopefully, I get the opportunity to show them. Hopefully, I accomplish something great, and I'm able to show them tangibly, um, how much I appreciate their impact and input into my life. So uh, I say all that to say, encouragement is great, information is great, help and networking is great. Um, there are a lot of things that are very helpful that are not made available, um, at least not reasonably. And if I can help in that area, even one person, then I feel like I'm doing something, or I've done something. It really is each one teach one. So I'd like to open up conversation. I'd like to open up my life so that you can see how very relatable we all are, and how many situations parallel, even if they're not the same. And I also hope to gain new perspective, so that I can have a better understanding of people, a better compassion for people, a better knowledge of people. Um, any exchanges that you see or have with me will be positive. Um, I don't believe in prejudice. I don't believe in classism. I don't believe in racism. I don't believe in segregation. I don't believe in isolation. I don't believe in things that would tear a person down or hinder them from moving forward. So topics of that nature, or leaning in that direction, won't be addressed. But outside of that, you'll see how very relatable I am, and if this whole YouTube thing works the way I think it will, I'll be able to get messages from people. I really appreciate you guys submitting any topic of conversation, any topic of interest. It'll give me something to dig into. I love feeding off information and absorbing it. So any topics that you throw out there will hopefully be interesting for you and I. I apologize for the poor production. Again, it's organic. It's 4 a.m. in the morning, so got to make it real. This is not reality TV, but this is real. Um, so production will get better moving forward, of course. Uh, I have to perform better if there's higher demand, which I hope that there will be. But I wanna talk to people. I want to communicate with people. I want to um, let people know that somebody is concerned. I think will be the best word. Maybe even care. It should be care, I think. But care about other people enough to hear them out. Um, there's real topics. There's depression and mental illness. There's physical diseases. There's just so much stuff that people don't get the opportunity to talk about. So hopefully, if you stumble across this page or run into it because you were destined to, then something that is on your mind or something that is on your heart or something that may be agitating you or something that may be interesting you, um, is something that can be investigated, something that can be um, touched upon, an area maybe you can get some help or again help somebody. And again, I just want this thing to be epic. I hope that it is. I don't want to start out with small thoughts because, we're all destined for greatness. That's my belief anyway. So I think that is enough information. I will probably make another one. Uh, but until then, that's the peace sign. I know it's dark.